Welcome to the Human 5.0 Project, the podcast where we cut straight to the breakthroughs that matter, the show where science meets self-optimization. I'm your host, Ultimate Biohacker 10X, and here we break down the real research, real data, and real dosing behind modern biohacking, from compounds and peptides to techniques, devices, lifestyle strategies, and performance protocols. Most people jump in and jump out before they get the gold, so we're keeping it tight and delivering the essential insights you need without the fluff. If you've taken the time to hit play, we'll make sure you walk away with valuable knowledge that can transform your approach to longevity, health optimization, and beyond.
You wanted part 2, so here it is. Part 2 is the episode that stops you from getting played, because most peptide talk online is upside only, and reality doesn't work that way. So today we run an evidence ladder: what's real, what's early, what's mostly animal data, and the quality red flags that turn biohacking into expensive chaos. No fluff, let's lock in. Hey team, Ultimate Biohacker 10X here on the Human 5.0 Project. This is the no BS zone, just a breakdown that you can digest. Quick disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. If you do have a complex illness, autoimmune disease, cancer history, uncontrolled blood pressure, psychiatric instability, pregnancy, or you're on medications that affect hormones, clotting, glucose, or mood, this is the clinician lane, first and only. Here's the ladder. I want you to burn this into your brain. Tier 1, large human randomized controlled trials and consistent clinical outcomes. Tier 2, small human studies and decent mechanistic support. Tier 3, mostly animal and in vitro studies, strong theory, and lots of anecdotes. And one line you need to tattoo on your decision-making: mechanism is not outcome. A pathway diagram is not proof you'll feel better. Now we run the 5 buckets, and I'll tell you where each one sits on the ladder. Bucket 1. GLPs sit at Tier 1 because the outcomes are repeatedly measurable in humans: appetite reduction, large RCT level weight loss, glycemic improvements, real clinical infrastructure. But here's the adult warning: weight loss is not automatically fat loss, and it's definitely not automatically health. Red flags in the GLP-1 world: people not lifting, not eating protein. Yep, they're losing lean mass. Smaller but weaker, colder, fatigued, and metabolically fragile. Crushing calories so hard that training and sleep collapse. Now, AOD 9604. This is where people want a fat-only cheat code. The honest framing is, it's Tier 2/3, depending on how you frame it. Mechanistic and small, older human signals, not a modern slam dunk. Red flags in the AOD world: marketing language that sounds like it's guaranteed, stacking it with 5 other things so you can't tell what did what, using scale weight as the only metric. Bucket number 1 rule: if you're not tracking your waist, your strength, your sleep, your steps, your body comp, you're guessing. Bucket 2, injury and recovery. This bucket is where logic dies because pain makes people desperate. BPC-157 gets talked about because the preclinical work suggests repair signaling and inflammation modulation. But the high signal way to say it is this: BPC is Tier 3, preclinical and heavy, and anecdote with human evidence that's limited and patchy, and that's the honest power move. TB-500, similar story. Lots of theoretical and animal-driven conversation, much less clean human clinical proof. Tier 3. Now, here's what you do before any molecule. Load management. Most tendon issues are mismatch problems. Progressive rehab. Slow, heavy resistance, tempo work, and consistency. Sleep and protein. If these are off, healing is off. Inflammation basics. Alcohol and ultra-processed food and chronic stress, yep, they crush recovery. Red flags in this injury bucket: no rehab plan, you're just injecting hope. Changing 3 variables a week, no function tracking. If it feels better without objective improvement, that's not necessarily an answer. The adult measurement set: pain score, same time of day, function, ROM, reps, load tolerance, training log, what you can do week to week. Sleep trend, HRV trend, if you track it. The rule here in bucket 2, pain buys hope. Your job is to buy structure. Bucket 3, sleep and brain. Bucket 3 is sleep, anxiety, and focus, the I want to feel normal again bucket. Selank, usually discussed as anxiolytic and stress modulating, with small human literature plus mechanistic angles. Call it small human and mechanistic, not mainstream RCT grade. Tier 2-ish. Semax, similar vibe, neurotrophic signaling discussion, some small human studies in specific contexts. Again, Tier 2, but not Tier 1. DSIP, this is the weakest one in the bucket, often Tier 3, older, mixed studies, not the cleanest modern human outcomes. Red flags in the brain bucket, unstable sleep schedule but trying to peptide your way out, high caffeine and alcohol at night, late screens, and then blaming the peptide. Using "I felt something" as proof of efficacy. Mood volatility and pushing through it. Baseline and tracking, keep it simple. Sleep onset latency, awakenings, sleep efficiency, next day anxiety score, next day focus score, HRV trend, weekly average, not nightly drama. Brain bucket take home, if sleep is unstable, brain is unstable. Fix the schedule before you chase the chemistry. Bucket 4, longevity, inflammation, and immune. This is where marketing gets religious. Thymosin alpha-1 or TA1. Here's an important nuance. TA1 has real human evidence in immune-related contexts, but that does not automatically translate to longevity. So the honest label is Tier 1 for certain immune indications, and Tier 2 to 3 for longevity claims. MOTS-c, largely Tier 3 with early Tier 2 emerging, depending on the exact endpoint. People love it because mitochondria. It's a catchword, right? But you still need outcomes. KPV, it's best described as Tier 3 and early Tier 2 emerging, depending on the exact claim. Red flags in the longevity bucket, calling something anti-aging without a measurable endpoint, stacking immune modulators with no oversight, chasing biomarkers without changing lifestyle levers. Longevity scorecard, our adult version, look at BP, waist, strength markers, VO2 and conditioning markers, glucose markers like fasting sugar and A1C, lipids, and ApoB if available. If those aren't moving, longevity peptides are mostly vibes. Bucket 5, skin and hair. Skin and hair is where you can actually see results, but physics still wins. GHK copper is typically Tier 2 for cosmetic outcomes. Better than a lot of exotic stuff because it has some human-facing cosmetic data in topical contexts. And of course, delivery does matter. But here's the reality. Your skin is not a sponge, it's a bouncer. Delivery systems matter, barrier status matters, consistency matters. Red flags in the skin and hair bucket, expecting deep remodeling from poor delivery, irritation and barrier damage from overactives, ignoring the biggest anti-aging topical in history, SPF, skin stack order, barrier, then actives, then protection, then consistency. Now these apply to every bucket. If you have no baseline, you cannot claim results. If there is stacking chaos, you learn nothing. If you have no stop rule, you drift into risk. Purity and identity unknown, you're not biohacking, you're gambling. Hype language, like guaranteed, melts fat, heals anything, that's an instant red flag. Just run. Translation, bad quality turns peptides into risk. Verify or skip. Now, I've spoken before on what they have done for me, and I feel like I optimized all of my fundamentals before utilizing any of them. From a personal anecdotal standpoint, I can tell that when I tore my vastus lateralis on the left, and it was not a tendon avulsion from the knee, I had a chance at recovering. But there was going to be a long road, and I wanted to see if I could optimize. So I utilized the data that was out there and came up with a combination of TB-500, BPC-157, IGF-LR3, and mechanical growth factor. And over a course of 2 weeks, I was able to rehabilitate myself at age 59 to the point where I was walking without any pain or hindrance within a 2-week time frame. From a personal standpoint, I think that there's some value here because I clearly healed much faster than I had healed in the past from similar injuries. But then again, this is just anecdotal, and it's only my personal experience. I did use things with endpoints. I followed good science. And as an experimenter on myself, I was very cautious about all the different variables that I was looking at while I was doing this. That's only a personal anecdote, but hopefully it's something that will help you frame when you're making these decisions to potentially utilize any of these peptides yourselves. All right, so evidence ladders filter the hype. You got to pick the strongest tiers first. And that's part 2. So if this helped, share it. Next, maybe we do peptide stacks done right. You can drop stacks in the comments. For now, stay strong, stay consistent, stay curious, and stay optimized. This is Ultimate Biohacker 10X, and I'm out. Thanks for listening to the Human 5.0 Project.
If you found value in today's episode, share it with someone who's ready to elevate their biology. Make sure to follow the show for weekly deep dives into peptides, protocols, devices, lifestyle strategies, and the science of high-performance longevity. Until next time, stay curious, stay optimized, and stay 10X.